Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us. Well, the first of two cold blasts has arrived. We saw big thunderstorms in Wellington last night, and then overnight they crept up to Palmerston North, Wanganui, across Taranaki, and then around Waikato and into Auckland around about 1:30 this morning. So that front's now moving away slowly. The rain's easing back to showers and colder south to southwest winds. That's the whole country for Wednesday, obviously a windier, colder day. But behind that, the winds turn a little more westerly for Thursday, and then southerly again for Friday as the second big cold blast arrives. So lunchtime Thursday, it looks like this. The cold blue line, as I like to call it, that lies around the North Canterbury area. So everything south of that will be cold and windy on Thursday. There'll be snow in the mountains, heavy rain on the west coast. Once you get into the North Island, not too bad. The westerly shift will actually push the temperatures up. Now, it may only be by a degree or two, but you will notice it, I think, compared to Wednesday, and it should be a little bit sunnier as well. And later in the day, those winds get a little stronger. They might even turn a little bit more northwest, but that's ahead of a cold front. So, rain and snow is on the way. Now, it's a little bit unfortunate that the numbers are on the right-hand side, so I'll try and explain it to you because I'm standing in front of them. But the areas of pink that you see down there, that's basically 75 centimetres of snow, give or take. So that's all around the mountains. As you can see, once you get out to the plains or the more populated areas where people actually live, there's no snow, or at least not much. So there might be a little bit for some farmers up high, but for the most part, the snow is pretty much around the ski fields and the mountains, but it might affect some of the alpine passes. Just be aware of that. Now, rain-wise, once again, I stand in front of the rainfall area, but I'll give you the idea. The areas in pink and red, that's the heavy stuff. You're talking about sort of anywhere between 40 and 70 millimetres of rain coming in along the west coast, and again, some heavy rain on the western side there, but mostly dry for the east. That is the theme for this week. All right, let's move on in towards the end of the week. Here's Friday, another big system on the way. So this is a huge area of low pressure, but as I always say, big lows don't always mean bad. They can just be stretched out a lot. So a lot of stretched out energy. The positive of that will be that it's fairly calm and dry through the central area. Say Canterbury up towards about Wellington may not be too bad. So if you're flying and you're a bit worried about flights, because we've had a few problems with flights and rough weather lately, or actually this year, it's been a bit of a hard year for flying around New Zealand. As you can see, it's not too bad. So there will be some sun and calm weather amongst this nasty stuff. But look at this, very strong winds, a squash zone between the big high out to the west and this low that's over the South Island. Cold air, that dark blue line's moving into the North Island again. There'll be another burst of rain, showers, squalls, that's where it's windy as well as wet, hail, thunder, and getting colder with snow on the North Island mountains as well. And these winds are pretty cold down around Southland and Otago. That's Friday. Let's get into Saturday now, and things do start to change and improve. The high from Australia is slowly moving towards us. The big cold blue line though, that goes all the way up halfway into Northland, so over the Bay of Islands. You're under that southerly change, so it will be colder even up into the so-called winterless north, and the cold southerlies continue around the eastern side of the South Island. Once we get to Sunday, that's when the nation splits apart a little bit. By that I mean the cold air gets pushed to the eastern side. So that's that blue line. It goes up to about Waited Upper and Wellington, then it moves away. So windy and showery on Sunday itself, but it will slightly warm up. You may not notice it too much, but it will be about 1 degree warmer. Still very cold down here, but drying out, not getting the rain or snow in the mountains. And then we get into next week, Monday, and the cold southerly or southeasterly still continues along our easternmost regions, which are Waited Upper, Hawke's Bay and Gisborne. So you've still got a few of those showers lingering, but otherwise the rest of the country will be dealing with a cold morning, frost I would imagine in both islands, and then a pretty sunny day for many areas. So a lot going on between now and Monday, but I think it ends on a pretty positive note. That's all from me. Keep an eye on our website, keep an eye on the free news section on our app. One of my best friends who loves the free Weather Watch app told me the other day he never even looks at the news section on it. And I was like, you've got to look at the news section. It makes the weather forecasts make a lot more sense. Even if you just flick through and look at some of the infographics, you don't even have to read all the stuff if you don't get into it like I do, put it that way. All right, that is all from me. We'll update you again on Thursday ahead of the next cold snap coming in for the weekend.